Hello, thank you for watching this video. Many of you are kind of stuck between the reality that you live in and where you would rather be. A lot of us feel misplaced. This is normal to feel this way, largely in part because we were never educated about how everything works, why things have to be the way they are. And our parents didn't really know. Our religious leaders, they were informed by the heads of their council. There's a lot that we have lost over ancient times and cataclysms that were recorded, translated, retranslated, and we just don't know. Science does the best it can, and it's done incredible things for us. It's given us a sense of evidence, and it's still missing something that we need from it that we can't actually get from it. And the reason for that is because we're too dependent on our mind to interpret everything in our world. We think about everything. Unfortunately, we don't give ourselves a break to not think. Oftentimes, when we go into solitude or when we retreat from the world, that is where we usually find ourselves. We lost the introspective and investigative approach to going within. Not like in psychology, psychoanalysis, psychotherapy. I'm not speaking of that. I'm not asking you to go see a shrink. But there's something in us that's crying out for us to listen. And people might think, oh, it's your inner voice or it's your conscience. And there's labels for all of that. The point is, we have to go inside. There is darkness inside. There is unknown. There is mystery. There is trauma. There is so much that we don't know about ourselves. And unfortunately, we look to outside of ourselves to find that out. My approach isn't that. My approach is to be there while you go deep. Because we all need to go deep. We have pain. It's not supposed to stay there. We have trauma. That's energy that's trapped inside. The more you pile in that, the worse it gets. We can't hide from our pain anymore. And part of us needs that pain to maintain its existence within us, to assume that it is us. We are not our pain. Pain is part of our story. Struggle is part of your story. There's nothing wrong with pain. It's what you do with the pain that you have. You can't go through life holding on to pain. It poisons you. The point of pain is to grow so that you can realize what doesn't work and then realize what does. That's the point. We all tell our story. We all have our journey. And the biggest challenge that we face is that early on, we didn't know who we were. We were told, hey, this is your name, this is your family, and this is your religious affiliation, and this is your national affiliation, and those people are not like us, and that philosophy is not like us, and so it is different, and so it is wrong. We are the true, the right, and all should follow our way. And when you look at it from that perspective, you start to realize, well, how do we know that is the way? And most of us give our power to our leaders, our our religious leaders, our our, our educational system, um, and oftentimes the people that we love, we actually sometimes give our power to them because we become dependent on their support of us, and we no longer find that we can support ourselves, or that without them we're nothing, or without them we couldn't survive. And that's the biggest lie anyone can tell you. So even when science tells me, oh, we are just a mechanical machine that when something breaks down, scientific-based Western medicine doctors will find what's wrong and cure it, or attack it and kill it so that it doesn't impede your well-being. And when you're really suffering and you are in immediate medical attention, Western medicine does provide you with the approach necessary to take care of what needs to be taken care of. However, we lost our ability to intuitively know that what's inside of us may be not well. And that's what we need to train ourselves to do. We don't listen to our body not nearly enough. There are underlying causes for that, not just mechanical in the sense of, oh, I'm dehydrated, or I haven't had enough fiber. That isn't the case. There's more deep inside that needs to be cleared. When I need more, it's underlying factors. It's subtle, but it's there. It's hard to be aware of it because we've never trained ourselves to be fully aware of our bodies. So this is where I do my work. I use emotion code and body code. And what it helps me do is it helps me isolate underlying causes of your pain. It could be emotional, and that could be from emotional and turn into physical and affect your body. There's not enough emphasis on how emotions affect your glands, and that's the endocrine system. Now, not enough emphasis is placed on the endocrine system by Western medicine. So there are such things as chakras, and chakras stem from your endocrine system. For example, your thymus gland, your thyroid, pineal, pituitary, your adrenal glands, and so on and so forth. And if they're healthy, then and you practice your affirmations of your safety, your will, your fun side. You have great self-expression, great creativity, and you express it, and you express compassion, and you know who you are, and you speak your truth. And on top of that, you are living in the present moment and not in the past, not in the future. If You live in the present moment. Consciousness is like the light being shined on something of importance. Awareness is being able to interpret and try and understand what the consciousness is informing you. And it's not something that is mental. It's something that is felt through the senses and can come through via images, melodies, scents, noises. And therefore, if one is fully present and one is aware of their surroundings, oftentimes they can pick up on things that normally the mind can't. The mind is there to help interpret logically how to proceed with the stimulus around you. And that's great. The mind is an amazing tool to help you process the information coming to you. However, it is your inner voice that is what you should be listening to. Many of us are in situations where we have anxiety and depression. And the biggest help someone can give someone in that state is generally someone to listen to. So if you listen to what they're telling you, you are aiding in their therapy. They need someone to listen to because by exposing the trauma and exposing the anxiety, one can find within themselves the root cause of this. And it helps because when you find the root cause and you release that cause, or any emotions or feelings related to the cause, then what you're doing is you're helping them empty out what's making them feel suffering. The end result of that is that there's void. And there's only one thing that that void wants, and it's joy and happiness. The biggest thing that you can help somebody receive is joy. And if it takes listening to them without judgment so that they can experience that joy at the end, you've given them the greatest gift that they could ever receive. If someone is feeling sadness or they're mourning a loss, also important to listen to them, but also ask them questions about what they brought to their lives in terms of positive. And what ends up happening is you're jogging neurons that evoke good memories, that evoke different chemical production in the body that helps to stimulate positive reinforcement or affirmation that everything's going to be okay. It's difficult when you lost somebody that you've been around with for so long. And many people do have beliefs that they're on the other side, whether it's a heaven, whatever the case may be. And their claims are valid. And many skeptics, they want proof. But there are times in our lives where we experience things that we can't explain. And we don't have scientific instruments to analyze that. And to do that takes away the feeling of it. We're supposed to feel. And oftentimes, what we feel during those moments, more often than not, are heartwarming, reassuring, important to feel and receive. And it's okay to cry about that. Because the tears aren't supposed to be for loss. They're supposed to be for reassurance that everything's okay. They're okay. They're gone, but they're near. And that's such a comfort, and everyone deserves to feel that when they mourn a loss of someone they love. The biggest challenge we face when it comes to losing someone that we love is that we feel that they're gone, and oh, I might get signs from time to time throughout my life that they're around, but I still feel like I want them near. And you can have them near. They're near. You think about them. And in that realm, time does not exist. They're with you. But you sometimes have to put intent into it, and oftentimes it comes out of an experience that's traumatic or emotional. You just want some comfort. And believe it or not, they're there. They're there with you. You can feel it, but you can't think it. It's not something that you can interpret with the mind. You feel it deep in your chest, your heart, and the heart is one incredible organ. Yes, it facilitates blood flow, but it's much more than that, and science is discovering how more receptive it is to what you need to feel. It is not emphasized enough. It's Western medicine just calls it an engine so that you can keep blood flowing and keep living, and it's way more than an engine. It is a core organ, more valuable in my interpretation than the mind. The mind is its complement. The mind is not meant to be the commander-in-chief. The heart is supposed to be the commander-in-chief. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you gained some insight, and I look forward to doing more videos in the future for you. Thank you very much.